Hi class, my name is Ocean Johnson, and today I will be presenting about a recent article published in the New York Times that explains the findings of a primary research study relating to genetic reproductive variance in lifespan. The pop or media article that I have selected was published in the New York Times in 2023 and was written by Carl Zimmer. This article is titled, "Genes That Boost Our Fertility Also Shorten Our Life, Study Suggests." This article was based on a research study published in 2023 in the Science Advances journal and was titled, "Evidence for the Role of Selection for Reproductively Advantageous Alleles in Human Aging." Long and Zhang, the authors of the primary research study, used a database called the UK Biobank to collect genetic data from 276,406 voluntary participants. Each participant provided a blood sample that was used for DNA extraction. Genotypes were configured using Affymetrix axiom array. The sample was originally composed of over 488,000 participants, but the sample was filtered to prevent population stratification. The data from UK Biobank includes genotypes and various phenotypes from all participants, as well as many other important reproductive traits such as the number of offspring. Long and Zhang measured genetic correlation between reproduction and lifespan, as well as calculated the PGS and survival probability for each individual. PGS is an individual's polygenic score, or an individual's estimated genetic predisposition for a trait, excluding environmental factors. The findings of this primary research study support the theory of senescence that was proposed by George Williams in 1957. George Williams was an American evolutionary biologist whose theory stated that genetic mutations that increased an animal's fertility could also cause harm later in life. In other words, animals that were more fertile or had more fertile traits were more likely to have a shorter lifespan. This is basically the reproductive version of the rate of living theory, also known as the live fast, die young theory. Results of this study found that genetic variations linked to fertility also linked to shorter lifespan. These reproductive variants were also 5 times more likely to influence lifespan than those not linked to reproduction. Individuals who had a higher polygenic score for reproductive traits were also found to be less likely to live until the age of 76. Another really interesting finding of the study is that participants born in 1965 had an increased number of reproduction boosting variants compared to those born in 1940. However, a major limitation of this study is that it cannot be completely generalized to the public because it only utilized data from British volunteers, and there tends to be lower mortality and cancer rates in Britain compared to the worldwide rates. The author of the media article published in the New York Times used the main finding of this primary research study as their main hook. I think that this was an effective way to grasp the attention of the reader without over-exaggerating the findings of the study or taking them out of context. I also think the addition of "study suggests" in the title helps the reader know that this article is backed by empirical evidence. The article begins by giving some background on the theories of the machinery of life during the 1900s, including George Williams' theory. This sets the reader up to understand the implications of the research that follows. The article then lightly describes the methods of the study and follows up with the main findings. The media article consolidates the findings in an effective way that allowed the general public to understand them. However, they do not take the findings out of context or imply any future applications that the authors of the research study themselves do not imply. There is not much controversy related to the findings. However, there was subtle skepticism about the findings in relation to the increasing life expectancy as time has passed. The media article contains a post-publication comment from a fellow scientist, Stephen Austad, that helps to strengthen the findings of the research study. As mentioned in the previous slide, participants who were born in 1965 had an increased number of reproduction boosting variants than those born 25 years prior. According to their findings, this would mean that individuals born in 1965 should have shorter lifespans than those born before them. So why does life expectancy continue to increase worldwide? This is because of technological advancements that better the quality of life and chance of survival. Stephen Austad defends Long and Zhang and states that this finding is even more impressive considering it was identified when life expectancy was increasing. I appreciate that the media article used the professional opinions of another related scientist to affirm the findings of the primary research, instead of trying to use their own authority to explain the finding's significance and reliability. Overall, I think that this media article accurately represents the study conducted by Long and Zhang, and that they made the information in this study more accessible to the public without altering any of the information. Here is a list of my references. Thank you for watching, and please let me know if you have any follow-up questions. Thank you.